Hello, how you doing? So against my better judgment, I tried doing mulberry cuttings again this year. I'm doing a lot less than I tried the first time. So about 2 years ago, I tried hardwood cuttings on mulberry and none of them rooted. So this year I'm gonna give it another try. This particular one I have here, I'll put the gardening stake here behind it so you can see it has leaves coming out there and there. So what I took a lot of notes the last time, and one thing I do know with these mulberry cuttings is they need some protection from the elements. Like if they get too much rain, these will suck up a lot of water and then they'll rot and die. And so when I know there's going to be rainstorms, I'm moving them out of the way. I'll zoom in on this one so you can get a really good look at it. The only thing now is like I'm afraid to move it because when I put it in here, I wasn't paying attention because I was working on a bunch of different plants at the same time, and I have it in here at this off angle. So so it's pointed towards my like I'll zoom out and you can see it sitting next to my willow oak. I only put it in here because at the time I didn't have another bin or anywhere else I wanted to put it. Here's another willow oak that I have here. You can just barely see it. And this I did not plant. That was planted by one of the neighborhood squirrels, but you know, it's just a free tree. This willow oak was also planted by a squirrel. So let me bring in the next bin and I'll show you what I decided to do with this one. I have this cutting here actually has fruit on it. So I'm leaving those, and it has a leaf. This hardwood cutting, here's a hardwood cutting that has some green that just started coming out right there. And here's another hardwood cutting. And of course, the one I'm gonna zoom in on is this really, let me get my glasses out of the way. This really juicy green one. I'll bring into so you can see that one. And this one has been in here for, I would say, 4 days now. And it's still looking fresh. So when the weather is a little questionable, I'll bring them in. Oh, there's that green I was telling you about. It's in the shot now so you can see it. So when the weather is questionable, and by that I mean if it's gonna be a really hard rain, I'll go ahead and protect them. If it's just a regular shower, I'll leave them out because that keeps me from having to water. And so we have a bright sunny day today, so I'm leaving them in that full sun. This leaf here has showed no signs of wilting. It's just this green. It was this shape when I put the cutting into the bin. Now it does have this dieback on the top here. I'll put the stake so you can see it easier. You see that dieback there? But that dieback was there when I took the cutting off the tree. So I have I'll estimate that the tree is 70, 60 feet tall, somewhere around there. I'm not that great with heights, but the tree is massive. It's huge. It spreads from my yard into my neighbor's yard and over onto private property because it's right on the border of my land. So here in Washington, D.C., if you do, I have a video of one of the fruit trees on my bonsai playlist, a video of a cherry plum tree that's in Washington, D.C. at the corner of 12th and Independence, right next to the Department of Agriculture over by Smithsonian Station, so you can see that video. But all around Washington, D.C., there are fruit trees that are free for the picking. So once the trees, now nobody's ever come on, I don't think anybody knows this tree is on my property, but if somebody, let's say I was here, somebody knocks it, hey, I heard you have a blackberry, I'd let them go, they can fill up and whatnot, because there's just, when the tree blooms, there's millions of fruit. There's more than I can get to, and plus I'm not climbing that tree. So I get the low-hanging fruit, but I've wanted my own black mulberry tree, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to propagate from one or more of these cuttings. This here is nothing. This right here is just dead wood. I'll be able to propagate from one or more of these cuttings, all of them except this one. I actually put some sealant on the top of this one that I got from Japan. These five and this one are all showing signs of life. This one isn't. This one looks like a dry stick, but I'm gonna leave it there. I have one more mulberry cutting, but it's outside in a bigger bin that I just don't feel like picking up, bringing in the house. And it's still alive. It has leaves that are coming out of it as well. I mean, but the thing about these black mulberry cuttings that I've learned is that once you stick them in the ground to root them, you have to leave them alone, because growing leaves out of the stick is no guarantee of roots at all. But wish me luck. Hopefully I'll have me more than one black mulberry tree after this little experiment. Hopefully you're having success with your gardening as well. Have a nice evening.